Sarah Platt could soon face serious consequences in Coronation Street, as speculation grows that her own daughter may be the one to expose her role in Theo Silverton's death. Earlier this year, Lucy Fallon hinted that a major storyline was on the horizon for Bethany Platt and suggested that viewers might not be impressed with her character's actions. Speaking at the Grand National Festival at Aintree Racecourse, Lucy revealed that Bethany would be at the center of a dramatic plot, though she remained tight-lipped about the details. She said, "There's a big storyline coming up, but I can't say much about it. What I will say is that it won't be particularly positive. I don't think viewers are going to like what happens. Bethany is partly responsible for the situation, and I can imagine people thinking she's being really unfair. I'm okay with that." When asked whether she was concerned about playing a character who might be viewed negatively, Lucy explained that she welcomes any strong storyline. She said, "As long as the story is good, I'm happy. Being part of the Platt family is fantastic, and getting a major plot is a privilege. I never take opportunities like that for granted." Following scenes broadcast this week, many Coronation Street fans believe they may have already worked out what Bethany's controversial storyline could involve. Their theory centers on Sarah and the secret she has been desperately trying to keep hidden. Earlier this week, viewers finally learned that Sarah was responsible for Theo's death. After a heated confrontation, Sarah struck Theo with a metal bar. The impact caused him to lose his footing and fall from scaffolding, leading to his death. The only other person who knows exactly what happened is Gary Windass. Together, he and Sarah have been doing everything possible to keep the truth buried, although secrets rarely stay hidden in Weatherfield for long. Fans have since taken to social media to share their theories, with many believing Bethany could soon discover what really happened and decide to report her mother to the authorities. One viewer wrote, "Lucy said Bethany's next storyline will make fans dislike her. What if she finds out Sarah killed Theo and ends up telling the police, which sends Sarah to prison?" Another fan responded by saying it sounded like a very believable theory. A separate viewer echoed the idea, writing, "Is anyone else worried that the thing Bethany does that Lucy hinted people will hate her for is connected to Sarah and Theo's death?" If that prediction turns out to be true, it would undoubtedly divide opinion among viewers. Fans who support Sarah would likely be furious with Bethany if she played a role in exposing her mother's secret. Meanwhile, another popular theory suggests that Sarah's partner, Kit Green, could develop a closer bond with Bethany in the coming months, potentially leading to an affair storyline. Both possibilities seem to fit with Lucy's earlier comments, leaving fans eager to discover which theory, if either, proves correct. Of course, there's always the chance that Bethany's upcoming storyline will take an entirely different direction and surprise everyone. Reflecting on the reveal that Sarah was Theo's killer, Tina O'Brien previously spoke about the secrecy surrounding the storyline and how difficult it was to keep the truth hidden. She explained that cast members immediately began trying to work out who the murderer would be after being told a major death storyline was being planned. There was a lot of discussion behind the scenes as soon as we heard there would be a killer involved. Everyone started guessing and trying to piece the clues together. Some cast members were informed they were connected to the story, but they weren't actually the culprit. By the time I attended my own meeting, I had started to suspect Sarah might be responsible. But honestly, I wasn't worried. Acting is an incredible career, but nothing is guaranteed. I felt honored to be trusted with such an important role in the storyline and was excited to see where it would lead. Tina also admitted that keeping the secret from viewers had been extremely challenging. "I've been incredibly nervous," she said. "I told my mom, and only recently shared the secret with Scarlett and my son Beau. Keeping something this big under wraps for so long is really difficult. Whenever I looked online, people were constantly sharing theories and discussing who they thought was responsible. Reading all those guesses without reacting was very hard." She added, Filming the aftermath was one of the toughest experiences I've had on the show. I felt as though I looked guilty in every scene and was convinced viewers would work it out straight away. That made the entire process quite stressful. Will faces a terrifying ordeal in Coronation Street as Megan's influence continues to threaten both his recovery and the pursuit of justice. Megan has quickly established herself as one of the most sinister villains to appear on the cobbles in recent years, despite fierce competition for that title. Abusing her authority as an athletics coach, she carefully manipulated young Will, cutting him off from those closest to him before drawing him into an abusive sexual relationship. Her actions were part of a deliberate and calculated grooming process, making it unsurprising when it emerged that Will was not her only victim. The devastating impact of Megan's crimes extended far beyond Will himself. When fellow student Sam Blakeman began to suspect something was wrong, Megan relentlessly targeted and intimidated him, pushing the youngster dangerously close to a mental health crisis. In an unexpected twist, help came from Tim Metcalf. Having endured a similar experience involving an older woman in the past, Tim recognized the warning signs and urged Will not to run away to Paris with Megan as they had planned. Tim helped Will understand that the relationship he believed was built on trust was actually one of manipulation and abuse. The heartbreaking revelation shattered Will's perception of the woman he cared about, forcing him to confront the reality of what had happened. Although it was an incredibly painful decision, Will eventually found the courage to walk into a police station and report Megan for her crimes. While Megan was arrested, her ability to manipulate those around her remains as dangerous as ever. This week, she demonstrated that she still has ways of reaching Will by contacting him through his gaming console and sending messages declaring her love. It is clear that Megan is already attempting to regain control over him psychologically. The twisted predator has shown no signs of remorse and appears determined to avoid accepting responsibility for her actions. With Adam Barlow representing her in court, Megan continues to challenge every accusation against her. She has even enlisted the support of her mother as part of her defense strategy. As the trial begins to unfold next week, Megan prepares to use every tactic available to maintain her grip over Will. The question remains whether she will succeed. At the Rovers, Will's loved ones rally around him as he struggles with nerves ahead of the court proceedings. Meanwhile, Sam remains deeply worried about the outcome of the trial while staying at the mental health unit. He fears that if Megan is acquitted, she could seek revenge against him for speaking out. Inside the courtroom, Will's pre-recorded statement is played before those in attendance. His family listens emotionally as his account of events unfolds. However, when the questioning begins, Will finds himself staring directly into Megan's cold and intimidating gaze. The pressure is immense, and he must decide whether he can remain strong under her watchful eye. Following the difficult hearing, Will tells his family that if the judge permits it, he wants to return to the stand and reveal the complete truth about everything that happened. Soon afterwards, he enters the witness box once again, preparing to give further evidence while facing Megan directly in court. The challenge ahead is enormous, but Will knows the truth must be heard. Later, the Driscoll family return home and inform Ollie that the final decision now rests with the jury. With Megan's future hanging in the balance, everyone waits anxiously to discover the verdict. Will justice finally be served, or will Megan find a way to escape accountability once again? Coronation Street continues to air on ITV1 during weekday evenings and is also available to stream on ITVX.